Yet penniless. Yet penniless. Overworked and underpaid. Wages are priceless. Yet penniless. Overworked and threatened. Overworked and threatened. Overworked and threatened. Underpaid. Underpaid. Underpaid.
Nurse, good morning.
Workers and healthcare workers.
I would like to know what progress have you learned of so far from the authorities with respect to the protests?
Well, in my opinion, from looking at the media and listening to our superiors, we have noticed that our protest is going on deaf ear, and they're just discouraging us and they're not giving us what we want. And I think it is unfair. Where is the empathy? Some of the public, and I think that was not fair. I mean, we should have a chance. It is our democratic right to protest, and we just want what is best for our colleagues.
I saw over the last day or so, the Attorney General, Mr. Nandalal, wrote the President of the Public Service Union, Mr. Yard, essentially threatening a range of options, including criminal charges, dismissals, of course breaking off the recognition agreement with the union. What's your response as a nurse to all of this?
Well, it is sad that those are the type of threats we're getting, and we're working so hard in this pandemic. And I think that if you look, our nurses, we are actually overworked and underpaid, and it is unfair for them to be threatening us like this. I mean, we need more, we need empathy, and we need solutions.
But they're saying that the union did not follow the procedure under the Essential Services and Public Health Act.
Well, that can be disputed. We have a plethora of letters that came from the union as well as other workers that went through to the respective authorities, and some of those letters were not answered to. And as far as I know, that's what's going on.
You started off with larger numbers in the early days of this protest. Today we have seen the numbers dwindle. Do you believe that this has anything to do with the threats by the Attorney General?
I do believe so. It is because those threats were on social media, blasting everywhere, and people got afraid. Remember, we're just normal healthcare workers just fighting for our rights. And it is so unfair for us to be threatened like that, and people must be afraid. Of course, if threats are coming from the authorities and we don't have any empathy or any solutions being put forward.
But if you lose numbers, then where does this leave the struggle?
Well, if we lose numbers in terms of people coming out, then we'll have to find another strategy. That's
no indication of when the two sides may actually have any talks or anything?
Well, for that, I don't have the answer to that question. But you can ask our leader, which is Mr. Owen John. He'll be able to enlighten you on those sort of matters. But for me, I can only speak for myself.
Okay. Any comment, nurse?
No comment at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
No! Gratuity pension! Gratuity pension! Gratuity pension! Gratuity pension! Gratuity pension! Gratuity pension! No money, no work! 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 Overwork, underpaid! Overwork, underpaid! Overwork, underpaid! Overwork, underpaid! Show the workers and the